want to say peace and blessings to you guys. Hope and pray all is well. Uh, just sitting here, thought I'd, take a break from everything that's going on and, just think about what's going on around us. There's a lot. There's a lot. There is a lot. And we are, I believe, are witnessing this country go into a civil war. You guys notice that? You see civil war is brewing in this country. Civil war is brewing. And we may witness something that we never thought we'd witness in our lifetime. A civil war. I tell you, man, if you don't believe that the Most High is real, the things that we've been able to witness in our lifetime should confirm it. In our lifetime, did you guys ever think that you would actually see a, quote, black president? That was so far out of scope that many in our community began to say, hey, as a consolation, Bill Clinton is the first black president. Have you guys heard that one before? Many were saying Bill Clinton is the first black president because of his behavior, even though Bill Clinton, the Clintons themselves, supported the crime bill. Supported the crime bill against our community, but yet, because he was able to play a saxophone and I guess the way he articulated himself, his demeanor, many were saying, hey, that's the first black president. But then we fast forward to Barack Obama. You never in a million years you would have thought that in our lifetime we'd witness that. I mean, we witnessed a lot of things that we would have never thought would have come to pass. If you would have told someone some of the things that we witnessed, let's just say 20 years ago, they would have laughed at you. They would have laughed at you even with Donald Trump being president, because you never put two and two together that he can never be president because of his past, especially if you grew up in the Northeast part of the country, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Connecticut, Massachusetts. You guys are familiar with, some of the stuff that he is known for, especially when it comes to our community. Very racist. But you never thought that you would be witnessing some of the things that you are seeing today. Starting with Reese Good. Did you guys ever think that you would see the day that a woman or a white person will be killed, murdered by the police officer or murdered by law enforcement, whatever you want to call them, and now they are marching. They're marching. They're now taking the playbook from us. Things that we've experienced. Things that we experienced, right? You never thought that you would see that the curse, so to speak, that you see in Deuteronomy chapter 30. I think it's around verse 7 when he said he will put the plagues or the curses on our enemies. But nevertheless, you never thought that you would actually see some of the things that you're seeing. You see, now you have so many white people are wanting us to march with them. Did you ever thought that you'll see that our people as a whole say, you know what, we're not marching anymore because that's what we're known for. Come on, guys, moderators, either put them in timeout or get these trolls out of here. Please don't come over here on this page with about uh, President Obama, Hamite, and all that other nonsense. It doesn't matter. He's black, according to the institutional race. According to the institutional race, he's black, you're black, most of us. So moderators, if you see people posting that old craziness, to me, it's basically taking on the racism, the talking points of our oppressors, the people that have enslaved us, to now want to find some. Oh, he's a Hamite. What? He's a dark melanated person. His father's a dark melanated person. It doesn't matter. When they look at him, he's gonna be called black. Period. Institutional race has nothing to do with ethnicity. Your color of your skin has nothing to do with ethnicity. So let's start with that foolishness. I'm telling you, some of the people in this awakening could be just as bad as dealing with racists when it comes to terms like that, and use Hamite to, almost like as a way of discriminating against other dark melanated people. Come on, family. Let's stop the cap, all right? But anyway, you guys never thought that you would see the day that you'll see the very things that we were told, that get over it. You guys heard those things before. Get over it, get over it, get over it, get over it. I know you guys went through stuff, get over it. Slavery, get over it. But now we see the very things that they told us to get over. Now they are marching. The very things that they talked about supposedly being handouts for our community, when those programs actually started being addressed, it started being cuts made to them. When that rock hit that pack of dogs, who did it hit? Who yelled? It was them. That gives you the truth about who benefited from DEI, because when they start call themselves cutting programs like SNAP and those different programs, who did the most crying? So we're used to it. So never in a million years you would have thought that just 4 or 5 years ago, when you had the marches, Black Lives Matter, and now you have white people. I'm not saying some white people, because there was many white people that marched. So I want to be clear. Some white people began to come out and say, white lives matter, blue lives matter, all these different things. And they were telling us, our community, many that was marching, it was coming at us. With the Breonna Taylors, the Trayvon Martin, the what's his name? The kid that was gunned down, playing with a toy gun. I think it was like 10 years old or whatever. But you guys get the picture. But now you have a situation where everything that what we had to deal with, that's right, Tamar Rice. Everything that we had to deal with as a people, right? With, remember Michael Brown, all these different cases that was happening, it'll go to grand jury, and then they'll wait till Friday night or Friday evening to announce that they are not going to press charges. Y'all remember the playbook, right? They began to demonize us, through the media. That's right, Sonia Massey. We got the whole list of it. Eric Garner. You could go all the way back. Amadou Diallo. Remember, he got gunned down, almost 40 shots. But they always came up with a reasoning for not taking it beyond the grand jury. It gets to the grand jury and it dies. That's right, Freddie Gray. You guys could list a whole slew of situations. But now you see the marches. You see the marches right across the country from many of the people that were saying to us, get over it. That we have a victim mentality. Have you guys heard that one before? That, you guys always playing the victims. And what do we see happening? Now, I want to make this clear. I'm not mocking the death of Reese Good. I don't condone it. It was a murder. Any innocent death, I'm still going to say it's a murder. I don't condone, regardless of who it is. But my point that I'm making is the very thing, the chit chatter was going around about us. Now we see them going through the very things that the Most High told us. I mean, the very thing that, the Most High said that would happen according to Deuteronomy 30. The curse is coming on our oppressors. And when I say our oppressors, I'm just saying the community as a whole. So what are we seeing right now? It looks like we're seeing a civil war get ready to break off. Do you guys agree with that? Are you sensing that a civil war is brewing? When the shooting of the Reese, when Reese got shot, Reese Goods got shot, the mayor, I believe, made a statement that they are going to what? Get the National Guard to, in a nutshell, start arresting ICE agents who crossed the line. The government of Minnesota said the same thing. I believe in Illinois as well. Also, the Chicago police chief said the same thing, that hey, they're going to arrest ICE reps or ICE officers who commit crimes inside Philadelphia. And then what happens? This commander in chief, he assigns even more of his agents to Minnesota. Instead of trying to de-escalate, he's steady escalating. He figured, well, since the Supreme Court ruled against him with the National Guard, so he's going to look for loopholes to send even more ICE agents. But are you guys noticing that, though, family? Doesn't it look like we're about to see a civil war? If you agree with that, if you agree that it looks like we see a civil war brewing, type 1 or click type yes or type 1. It looks like we're witnessing something that we never thought we would see. A civil war brewing. If you guys agree with that, it looks like we see a civil war brewing. Because you have a group of people that have been empowered to basically operate and function with no accountability. They don't have to worry about being held accountable to and for anything that they do. Took the same people that was participating in the riots, and took many of those groups and made it empowered them in this group ICE. That's right. Complete lawlessness is what we're witnessing. We see a civil war brewing, even when we just deal within the government, not even getting into the citizens, but we see a civil war that is happening among these governmental agencies, right? The local governments, the state governments, versus the federal government authority. It's a lot going on. Like we talked about the last live I did, calculated confusion. And family, if you go and look at the research, right? Research, or I challenge you guys, do a Google on North Carolina forbidding the 1948ers. You guys know what I mean when I say that. The 1948ers, they stopped them from training their their police force, because what you see what ICE is doing, their police force began to exhibit those behaviors. And that is tactics coming straight from the 1948ers over in the land of Israel. You see the same thing. That is the playbook. Look it up. You'll see. And when you start looking at some of the things that stand out about the Civil War, you had one particular group of people that was able to play both sides. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The 1948ers, they were able to play both sides. I'm working on the video. It took me a lot longer than what I wanted it to take, but I'm going to try to upload it tonight. And we're going to touch on it more. Over 10,000 of them were in the Confederate Army, and at least 7,000 of them were in the Union. So they were on both sides of what? The argument. That's the playbook. So no matter what, they get what they want. That's what AIPAC do. They're on both sides of the coin. When this commander-in-chief got elected, guess who was celebrating? AIPAC was celebrating because they got over 300 people around the country elected. So it's a win-win situation for them. Like when Biden lost to Donald Trump, it was still a win-win because they're on both sides. They're in the Democrats and they're in the Republicans. So no matter what, they win. Who's going to win with these the federal government, the local government? Who wins with the behaviors of ICE? Who wins? I'm just saying, it's a win-win for them, no matter what. A lot of the stuff that this commander-in-chief is doing is based upon a playbook from who? Look at those that are in his ear. From his son-in-law, Kushner, to basically, you might as well call him the shadow president, Miller. Look who his buddy is, Netanyahu. Look at the playbook. The playbook that he's exhibiting. Flood the zone. Because, hey, by the time, for example, the federal spaces get caught, attempt to catch up with all the things that's being presented, he done been there and done that. He's constantly the things that he's doing. But my point that I want to make is that I believe we're getting ready to see a civil war happen. A civil war is going to occur. A house divided within itself will what? Fall. Who is it going to benefit the most? The ones that it benefits the most is the people you can't talk about. Y'all notice that? The people that you cannot talk about is the ones that everything tend to benefit the most. Do you guys agree with that? The very people that you can't talk about are the ones that benefits the most. Come on, family. Come on, family. So many things going on to keep people distracted and playing catch up. So by the time you think you caught up, He done gone on another situation popped up. But again, do you guys agree? Do you guys sense that there's a civil war coming? Or that we're seeing a civil war, uh, brewing right before our eyes? There's a group of people that they have a history of playing both sides of the fence. Literally, I was laughing. I was cracking up with this last election cycle, right? Because remember, former President Biden, he's on record saying that he's a Christian Zionist. He said that a number of times. You guys seen some of the videos, Christian Zionists, all about Israel. What's her name? I think she retired from the Senate, Nancy Pelosi. All of them, Israel. It's all about Israel. And they literally have, it's on record with Nancy Pelosi saying this country could go to pieces, but their commitment to Israel is what matters. Literally said that. Got the clips. And we're witnessing that right now. We are witnessing that right now. Now, guess what happened? Lindsey Graham, who is he's a Zionist who, if they had degrees with it, he's a 33rd degree Zionist. He's now trying to go to the Senate to push a bill to immediately cut funding to instead of 10 years, but cut down that funding to Israel. I read an article on that the other day, because realizing that this country is giving so much to them that they're chilling. This country is going upside down while they're putting all this money to another country. They have given trillions of dollars to that country. And even Netanyahu said, you know what? They're going to put $100 billion at least into their military development of weapons. Only one other country that puts that much money into their military, and that's the United States. A country that's the size of New Jersey, putting $100 billion into military weaponry to develop their own. This small little country has so much influence. This small little country operating in the spirit of that fourth beast, so manipulative, they are prospering by way of who? But you can't talk about them. You could talk about any other country, and they could talk about you, but you can't respond. Come on, family. And now you have it where as though you have to, they have secret meetings and things going on with politicians, meetings of, pastors, meetings with content creators. They're doing a lot, family, to help manipulate your perception, even with AI. They're standing up their own campuses, right, with servers of data on it and how AI works. It goes into all these different spaces to pull information. So they're going to have these big giant campuses with all these data centers. When I say campuses, you guys understand. Think about a college campus. And can you imagine that college campus filled with buildings, warehouses that's like wall-to-wall servers, strictly dedicated for what? Information, flooding the internet, so that way it can help dictate what AI present to you to further push their agenda. That's happening right now, family. And some of you guys that'll follow me, that's watching right now, you geeks, you guys understand how it works. You guys understand how AI works, that AI is nothing more than a glorified search engine, especially when you're using it on the internet. Are we seeing it right now? Are we seeing it right now? Again, during the Civil War, you had over 10,000 that was part of the Confederate, well over 7,000 at least that was part of the Union. And what community made out? Remember Malcolm X? He gave that warning. He gave that warning. Back in the 60s, gave that warning of one particular people that plays both sides of the fence. This manipulation is so strong that our people will rather cry and push somebody else's so-called hardships than to focus on your own. They have the religious groups so manipulated that they co-sign to push a group of people that they know is not the original people for the sake of that agenda. By way of religion. That's the fourth beast, right? Manipulation. Altering and changing things. You know, that group of people that's like, hey, I got your back. I got your back. Man, if you got anything going on, I got your back. If you have a fight, I got your back. I'll help you through that fight. Wait a minute, but on the other side of the fight is you instigating and saying the same thing to those people. See, going back to Biden, Biden made it clear. He said that he is a Zionist. And soon as he lost that election, far as Kamala Harris had to take over and she lost that election, what did they do? They start celebrating who? Because guess what? It's a win-win situation no matter what. Biden, just in his administration, he gave easily $150 billion. Not even to mention Ukraine, which is still the same people. So if you bring that together, put all of that together, they just through the Biden administration, they received like $250 billion. Because guess what? They the only nation that they have a special budget for. They getting reparations, and they didn't go through anything from the United States, but they getting reparations. I'm telling you, family, we civil war is happening. A civil war is brewing. It's brewing. It is brewing. It is brewing. I hate to break the news. I see someone said that they are a Zionist, right? And that they have a home in heaven. I'm not sure what heaven, because, the Most High is not a Zionist. The Most High is not a Democrat. The Most High is not a Republican. The Most High is not a Christian. The Most High is not a Catholic. The Most High is not a Muslim. The Most High is none of these things. These are all man-made stuff. If you follow the scriptures and you believe that you have a home in heaven by holding on to some political party, you holding on to a political party, that's contrary to the scriptures, because the scriptures make it clear that guess what? All these systems of men is going to be destroyed. So why are you holding on to a political party? If you, because you say you a Zionist, that means that you study. Well, not all, that most Zionists, most people, I got to be real. Most of them are atheists, don't even believe in the scriptures. But let's just say you mention heaven. That means that you at least believe in Torah, the law and the prophets. So you'll see that just in the law and the prophets does not substantiate your argument. There's so many prophecies that talks about these systems of men, they're going to be destroyed. So why are you holding on to a political party. That makes absolutely no sense. I believe it. I believe it. A civil war. It may not be. Well, then, yeah, because the Civil War was just straight bloody. It was all about what? The North. Abraham Lincoln went to what? The Union. It was all about the Union. All about making sure the colonies don't break up into two different countries. Because really, think about it. The Confederate means what? Constitution. It's synonymous to the word Constitution, which tells you that there were what? Two constitutions. Things were divided. The Southern, they didn't want to get rid of. They fought for slavery. They were like, hey, you messing with our bottom line. So it was all about them trying to keep slavery in the Northern Kingdom. I mean, I'm about to say Northern Kingdom, the North, right? They were all about what? The Union. They didn't care about Negroes. Neither parties cared about our people, but they used us as pawns. Right? The proclamation that Abraham Lincoln put out there had nothing to do with us. It was all about what? Using us as pawns to try to weaken the Union. Come on, family. Come on, family. I'm saying this, if you really study the scriptures, if you really believe in the scriptures, you should not be promoting any facet of a government. Even if you believe that you are connected to these Israelis, if you believe that you're a Zionist, all that other, you should not be connected to none of that. Come on now. Come on, family. We got to leave that alone. Let's leave that stuff alone. Come on, family. Either get rid of that Christian name, get rid of that Muslim name, get rid of that Islam, get rid of all of that stuff. Get rid of the Jew. Get rid of all of those names. Get rid of Judaism. Get rid of Christianity, get rid of Catholicism, get rid of Islam, get rid of all of these things, because guess what? None of them were practiced by the true ancient Israelites. Get rid of all of that stuff. Get rid of the Democrats, get rid of the Republicans, get rid of the communism, get rid of all of that stuff. If you truly want to have a relationship with the Father, guess what? I know that I am a blood descendant of the ancient Israelites. DNA proves it. My heritage proves it. As far as my family tradition, I am a bloodline Israelite. And guess what? I realize that I don't need religion. Even if I wasn't, I understand that I don't need religion. I don't need to be called a Christian to have Christ. I don't need to have Islam to have Christ. I don't need to have Christianity to have Christ. I don't even need to hold on to a construct that has nothing to do with being a follower of the way. The Messiah said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. No man come to the Father but by him. So I don't need none of those man-made constructs. I don't need to have that. Right? And as being a bloodline Israelite, guess what? I still have to be obedient. If I am an Israelite and I'm not obedient to the Father, that makes me what? A rebellious Israelite. Does that make sense, everyone? Come on. Who want to come test? I done proved it. I proved my DNA. I proved it. I proved my heritage. And so many of our people heritage. I'm about to drop a video pretty soon. By tonight. I'm going to try to do it by tonight. And I'm going to drop some more information. The very information that Candace Owens stated that she supports 100% of what Kanye West said. She says she's taking a baton. And what is one of the things that Kanye West said? that was at the forefront of his argument? He said the blacks are the lost 12 tribes of Judah. Remember that? If you guys remember Kanye West saying that type 1, Kanye West said that we, the Negroes, are the 12 lost tribes. And I know some of you guys will say, wait a minute, there's only 10 lost tribes. No, listen to what he said. Because he's saying that all 12 tribes, right, had their identity taken from them. So guess what? We consist of what? All the 12 tribes. Guess what? That's what the Igbo that's in Nigeria. When there was the elder, when he was speaking with the rabbi, he said, hey, we have all 12 tribes here. But he was trying to say God, 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 God. He said we have all 12 tribes. Same thing with the Limba. When they were trying to just reduce him down to, again, we're just going to say Levy. No, they said we have all the 12 tribes here. Does that make sense, family? So Candace Owens said that she's taking Kanye West, DEFCON 3, she's taking a baton and running with that. And that was one of the things that Kanye West said. He made it clear that he was what? Even though he used the word Jew, we understood what he meant. So, again, family, we know our identity, but we still have to be obedient. Our identity doesn't give us a get out of jail free card. Our identity doesn't mean that we could just say anything and do everything. But my point that I'm making is that we have to get rid of these religious systems, family. We have to get out of, even for the brothers and sisters that may not be Israelites, that may be part of the other nations. Guess what? The scriptures make it clear. There's a pathway for you. Doesn't mean that just because you're not a bloodline Israelite, that you cannot have a relationship with the Father through his Son. It's demonstrated all through the scriptures. You don't even have to go to the New Testament or the renewed covenant to know this. You could go to what? Isaiah 56? When it talks about the sons of the strangers, right? Who want to have a relationship with the Father. Said, hey, honor what? The covenant, the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. And honor his what? Shabbat. One law. For what? The homeborn and the stranger. But guess what? What did religion do? Religion came in, took something that didn't allow people that was not part of the bloodline, those other nations come in and hijack an identity. And when I say that, I'm not just referring to Judaism. I'm referring to Christianity. I'm referring to Catholicism. They came in, took a doctrine, took a heritage that didn't belong to them, and then they began to modify it to make it more conducive to them. By what? Changing in their minds. They created, instead of the seventh day Shabbat, they created what? The first day of the week. They created a Sunday, so-called Christian Shabbat. They removed the commandment about idol worshiping and placed the fourth commandment, which is the Shabbat. Remember the Shabbat, that made it the third commandment. Come on, family. All through the scriptures, you could go all the way back to Abraham, when the covenant was given to Abraham, right? And the covenant, it was told that it was going to be between Abraham and his seeds. But guess what? Everyone within the household of Abraham, his servants that was there, those that was there, right, that was not part of the bloodline, they were still what? Covered for being what? In the house. That's why they had to be circumcised too. It didn't make them part of the bloodline of Abraham, but guess what? They got the benefits of being what? Within his household. You could go to Genesis, Exodus 12. The strangers that are among them that want to what? Honor Passover, that want to honor feast day, right? Want to honor what want to worship with the Israelites. Guess what? One law. You see that demonstrated in Acts chapter 13. Paul was teaching to who? Paul and Barnabas was teaching, well, got a request from other nations, descendants of other nations. They came in and said, we want to learn on the Shabbat. Asked them that they want to learn. And guess what? For at least 2 years, 2 to 3 years, they was taught inside the temple on the Shabbat by who? The Apostle Paul. Come on, family. It's all in the scriptures. But again, going back to my point, even Israel, right? The ancient Israelites had a civil war. Even the ancient Israelites had a civil war that caused them to become a divided kingdom. This is why you had the northern kingdom and the what? Southern kingdom. All because of what? A king by the name of Solomon, Shalamah, could not get over his flesh, constantly did everything contrary to what the Most High commanded him to do. So the Most High made it clear that guess what? I'm taking the kingdom away. But then he remembered his promise to David. He said, you know what? I'm going to keep Judah under the bloodline, the house of David. And that's when his son Rehoboam had the opportunity to prevent that. But he made a decision that allowed Israel to split. Jeroboam took 10 tribes. Rehoboam took 2 tribes. And that's how they became a divided kingdom. So you see, civil war is there. So again, family, it's a lot going on. I just thought I'd do a quick live, and talk to you guys for a little bit. With everything going on, we're going through our second week of the fast. And man, it's just a lot that is going on, family. For those that are fasting, I just want to encourage you guys, you don't have to, at your workspace, you don't have to go around, bending your face up, twisting your face up to make it look like, you don't have to draw attention to yourself like that. Just continue to pray and fast because we're dealing with a threat that don't care about any of us. Don't care about our differences. They just see us as a threat. And that's what we're dealing with. The spirit that we're dealing with right now can only be dealt with through what? Prayer and fasting. But again, family, really appreciate you guys. Be on the lookout. I'm going to upload a video later on tonight, and it's going to give more information for those that have come to We Woke Now by way of following Candace Owens and some of those other platforms due to the video. I'm going to upload a video so that way you guys can get more history, a more understanding of what actually is going on, who's who. We know Candace Owens she's been going in saying that, hey, they're not the chosen people, but she's at that cliff. She at that ledge. She still haven't taken that full jump to be totally submerged in teaching the truth. So what I'm going to do with a video upload is going to give you guys actual truth about who was enslaved during the Spanish Inquisition. Who was the perpetrators who enslaved them? Wasn't just Judaism, the 1948ers that controlled, the merchants, dominated the merchant department of that, but the Roman Catholic Church. Who were those? Who was the Israelites that they enslaved? We're going to deal with that. But with that being said, family, love you guys. Appreciate the love and support. Gotta go. Shalom.